It was back in the year 1980 that we were at the VSCC's annual general meeting, and it was announced that the Australians were sending over 6 cars to attack the records at Prescott Hill Climb, and that they were presenting a cup for the fastest ascent of the hill. And they wanted somebody from the UK to represent them. And so I put my hand up and said, I will do so, with the McLaughlin Special. Now, that gave us several months to get the car ready, because the meeting that we were talking about was going to be held in August the 2nd, 1981. Anyway, I finally arrived at the circuit, and or the hill, I should say, and the car ran okay, but every time I got up the hill in practice, it got about halfway up the hill and the ignition retarded itself, and I could not understand what the hell was going on. And eventually we had the lunch hour, and so I took the whole car to pieces, and we put a drift on the magneto drive and hit it with a hammer, and it was amazing to me, but it actually turned on its boss. And so what I realized was that the vernier coupling that drives the magneto was actually assembled by being shrunk onto a boss which is threaded onto the magneto drive shaft. So it was turning. When it got hot, the car, it was turning, and it was retarding the ignition every time. I'd never had this problem with the car before. Anyway, we borrowed an electric drill and drilled a little hole between the 2 component parts, and put a short piece of welding rod in there so that it couldn't turn any further. And put it back together again, and we had about 1 minute after lunch break before the first competitive run in the afternoon. So I calmed myself down, and we sat down and we went down to the start grid, and I set off. And in those days, when you got to the top of the hill, somebody used to come out of the little cubby hole and give you a ticket with your time on it. And I realized when I got to the top of the hill that I'd broken the record. And I didn't say anything. I just drove back down the escape road and parked the car and got my sandwiches out and started having my lunch. And I noticed that the Australians were going back and forth to the timing box to see who'd put up the fastest time. And they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then after a few minutes, there was this wild cry in strong strain saying, "Christ, Sutton's broken the bloody record." And by that time, there was no time for them to have their final runs. So eventually, we ended up winning this cup. And this is the cup, and it's from the Vintage Sports Car Club of Australia, and it's dated the 2nd of August 1981, Prescott Hill Climb, the fastest Austin 7, it says. And it's one of my little special trophies that I've had for years. And I didn't realize, but sometime later I was looking in a bookshop, and I found this book, which was by Bill Williams, and that is a picture of the car actually making that hill climb in 1981, and that is the actual hill climb that we won the cup from. So that's another one of my little special trophies. Thank you very much.